Let's go.
I was hanging around in Brooklyn town with a settled down type girl. Her daddy was a
Right, guys, out with Liam once again. Last one was Cleveland way. And this time we're headed up to Scotland. Now, I haven't actually been in Scotland since I was a kid. So this is my first time up there as an adult. So I'm really looking forward to it because I feel like when you're a kid, you don't really appreciate it quite as much as when you are an adult. So we're thinking Summit Camp tonight, Ben Nevis tomorrow via CMD route. So initially I was going to do the mountain track on Ben Nevis. That is the most commonly tread one. But having a look, this CMD route just looks a lot more fun. Like the other week I was up Helvellyn and I did the more, shall we say, relaxed route up there. We're not trailing all the way up to Scotland to do a boring route, are we? So the journey is 6 hours and 40 minutes. It's a decent trek. So we've just stopped for a cheeky little breakfast on the side of the motorway. It was like a proper trucker's lorry kind of like greasy calf. Really, really nice. It's the first time I've ever actually had a bit of haggis. I thought, you know, when you're in Rome, got to be done.
But when summer calls, we'll do it all again. Through the valley on the shadow of all forever dear from broken dreams and
Well, as you can see, we've just made it to Loch Leven. Absolute scenes, mate. So very much looking forward to having a play on the paddleboard again, but this time with Liam, and this time in Scotland. So yeah, very much looking forward to the trip. And what a way to start it, do you know what I mean? So we're going to make the most of this weather and this loch.
living in the fast lane, time is precious. I'm counting down the seconds. I can feel you on my skin. I go in this direction.
Scotland is amazing. I can't believe it's taken me 30 years to get myself over here. Absolutely beautiful. Granted, a bit of a drive compared to Lake District, but it's worth it. Right, so now we've had a bit of fun on the water, let's get up Pap of Glencoe. And at 742 metres of elevation, it don't mess about getting into that elevation. It is steep as anything, and it don't really help with 20 kilo plus on the back of you either. Either that or my cardio just out of whack. I mean, looking at Liam, he isn't really out of breath, so maybe I should just read what's in front of me and get the message. That, my friend, is what dreams are made of. I was waiting for you to sit down. I couldn't allow it. I couldn't give you that. You're an absolute sweetheart, mate. Every time we go on these trips, you make a sandwich. I appreciate that. So we've done about 3/4 at least. So we're just stopping off for some scran because we haven't really had that much to eat when we come to think about it. And it's not just the fitness level and the backpack weight that's sapping the life out of me. It's definitely the heat as well. Like, we've got really, really lucky with Scotland. I think it's got a name for like pissing it down. It's been miserable. Well, the weather gods have come to us because this is elite weather. But unreal, isn't it? Yeah, it's unreal until you start trying to hike up a mountain, then it's not so unreal. But we won't moan. So down there is actually where we were with the paddleboard earlier on, which is Loch Leven. All right, Liam's having a little skeg over there, see if there's anything better. But for right now, we've come to an agreement that here's my pitch, there's Liam's. Look at the view, do you know what I mean? Neither of them are perfectly flat, but you're on a mountain, lad. You're not going to get it, are you? But makes up for it. So last week when I was in the Lake District with Jamie doing that island camp, I said the Lanchan 2 Pro was probably going to retire for the rest of the year with it being a summer tent. And here it is. Proof's in the pudding. The nature hike's back out to play. And there she is, she's up. Now the good thing about this tent is you can actually move it once it's already up, where the Lanchan 2 Pro that I mentioned earlier, you can't do that because it's a trekking pole tent, and once you've got the tension, it's sort of there for the night. Now the beauty of both of these two-man tents is there is an entrance both sides, and both of these are facing obviously this splendid view. Anyhow, I'm absolutely ravenous, so I'm going to chill out for a bit with Liam. We're pretty much both set up now. A sad story to pitch in this tent is my nose piercing's just fallen out. That's going to heal up by the time I get home, innit?
all in. You give me heaven. I got no hesitation.
So now we're sat down chilling. I thought, let's just touch on Ben Nevis tomorrow. This will be the last of the big three of the UK. So if you don't know, we've got Scafell, Snowdon and Ben Nevis. Ben Nevis being the biggest of the three. And this year we actually started it off by saying to each other, let's do all three, dotted through the year. And then next year we'll attempt that 24-hour challenge where you do all three of them in the 24 hours. That's including travel time, which will be pretty mental. La, 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 la. So with us doing the 3-peat challenge, I thought it'd be a great opportunity to raise some money for mental health. Unfortunately, I lost my sister to mental health earlier this year, so I just feel like it's something that I want to do and tag to the challenge. Also, we just like brain ourselves, so why not do that challenge? It's just perfect. Anyhow, let's get some scran like I was saying earlier. Right, so it's not forecast to be super windy tonight, but wind has picked up just then, so we thought for peace of mind, we've got the guys, we might as well use them. Granted, we don't have enough pegs, so we have just used a load of stones, but we'll hopefully get a better night's kip. And on that note, I'm heading to bed, so we'll catch you tomorrow. Well, I thought it was bedtime till the stars came out to play, and that's the best I've ever seen the stars out. Mental. Right, anyhow, I'll see you in the morning. Oh, good morning, geez. How are we doing? That was a good night's kip all in all, you know. Woke up a couple of times, but yeah, needed the kip. I think I could have slept stood up, to be honest. But yeah, other than sliding a little bit, because it's not the flattest of ground I've camped on. It was a really good night. Super still throughout, which surprised me with the elevation we're camping at. But yeah, just shouted Liam, but I think he's still a kip, to be honest. I'm just going to lay here for a bit and then make a move. Oh, that's warm me inside as that brew. Anyhow, let's get packed away and get off Pap of Glencoe. My knees aren't looking forward to the descent of this bad boy, I can tell you that much. Ugh. Let's not be forgetting you, we'll be needing you boys. So we decided to do a different route down, just a little bit more direct, but granted a lot steeper. I mean, we've just come down from there. Well, that's us off the mountain, and I'm absolutely ravenous.
Yeah, could do with some food, to be fair.
So we'll go find somewhere nearby and then head up Big Ben. Well, that was very much needed. Super refreshing. Ice cold as well, even considering it's super warm. Liam couldn't be arsed, so instead, which is actually a shout, he soaks his t-shirt and he's just going to walk trail with a soaking t-shirt. We made a boo-boo, haven't we? Well, before he kicks off, I've made a boo-boo.
No way about it.
So we've stopped for a sandwich. I thought, I'll have a little skeg on Old Trail, see how far we're around. CMD's up there somewhere, but we were meant to take a turning all the way back there, a decent trek, to be up there. So my thinking is, rather than going back on ourselves to go up it, we'll go off the beaten track and head up this little sketchy looking piece. Should be a laugh. Now then. Oh, then sweetheart. Oh, my hand.
Oh, I got him! Hey!
No worries, mate. If we don't want to be friends, we don't want to be friends. I get it, I understand. This is turning a difficult trail into something even harder. Definitely try and just follow the trail and don't go off piste. I mean, obviously this was an accident, but yeah, sapped us of energy. And we're not even summiting CMD, the first mountain before Ben Nevis yet. But there are positives where there are negatives. We've just come across a water source and we need out of water. Ideal.
You don't know how you met me, you don't know why you can't turn around and say goodbye, all you know.
Now this is a nice sight, back on the path. Anyhow, we are making our way to my first ridge ever, which is the CMD ridge. So I'm really looking forward to that. Oh, they stacked it. Ready?
There we are.
It's got to be done. So this is CDM, right next door to CMD, which is the ridge that I keep banging on about. But what a view, look at that. Beautiful. And we're here, CMD, and if you can see, peeping over the edge there, is CMD Ridge, which we're about to attack. As I said, our first ridge. Let's go and have some fun and try not to stack it.
CMD.
Knobhead. So we just summited CMD and had a bit of a natter with a couple of geezers, and they've just said, this is what we're heading up. Now on the way up, me and Liam were like, there's no way, that won't be part of the trail, but yeah, lo and behold it is. So across the ridge, and off we go. This is honestly the most fun I've ever had on a hike. I think I've just found my new love at ridges. Do you know what I mean? Crib Goch, where you are. And that's the ridge done. Mate, how much fun was that?
Class, wasn't it?
Absolutely sick.
Naughty.
Yeah. And there she is, not Liam's arse, but the first sight of Ben Nevis summit. Let's go. But I find it's quite easy to not stop every now and then and just appreciate the views while you're actually going up. And there it is, I appreciated it. Right, come on. I've just about caught my breath back, and if you see that, right there is Ben Nevis summit. So let's go tap it out and make it official. While we make our way over there, I thought a little fun fact about myself that's sort of, well, it's relevant, do you know what I mean? Not fun, but interesting, I think. And that's back in the 1800s. The men of my family on my dad's side were actually shipbuilders in Scotland. It's kind of cool, isn't it? Also, I think this is a pretty sick little hut where I think it's for like bad weather, and if you get up here and you're caught in it, you have a little kip in there and whatnot. Oh, sun is setting. Now we were umming and ahhing whether to stay up here for sunset with it being quite close, but Liam's the only one with a head torch. I forgot mine. And also we've got to get off this, which is going to be a few hours, isn't it? Let's be honest. And then we've got to find a place to pitch the tent for the night and whatnot. So sensible. I'm growing up because I've just accepted like it's probably wise and sensible to just get off the mountain now. I hate it. Oh, I love it when I stub my toe and then it flings me forward. My favourite part of the descent. Anyway, we're currently on the mountain track going down, and I didn't actually realise we were going to use the mountain track to descend off the mountain, and I'm really pleased about that. And the reason is, when we do the 3 peaks next year, as I was saying earlier on in the video, we will be using this track, so it's kind of nice to sort of have some sort of a gauge of what the track's like. And it's not looking promising, guys, because every single person that's walked up past us has desperately been asking how long left, and also saturated in sweat and fed up with life, so promising.
Well, then just take my hand and be with
Who's this? Trail runner Jordan, that. Even Liam's having a go. We've just realised getting down a mountain is way faster and way easier. Just having a little spring in your step, mate. Bend the knees, look what you're doing and get down. Plus it's getting dark. I don't have an head torch. It's 9:15, pitch black as you can see, and we ain't got much water left. So we're using this water source as an opportunity to top up, because it's going to be, well, it's already a late one, but it's going to be a really late pitch for camp. And then we're heading home tomorrow. That's as down as I've... Speak to you tomorrow. Morning. Oh, you're fresh. Oh. I mean, I didn't sleep much again last night, so this is going to help. Oh, wake me up for the... Whew, that took me breath a bit. Wake me up for the journey home. But before we do start the journey, let's have a quick natter about, as I said last night. So we're on the mountain track, as I last said, and that was going really, really well. And for some reason, the route on all trails that we were following decided to go off that nice pebbled mountain track and take us through like some absolute bog fest of like a overgrown grassy patch. And it just went on, and sort of, you know, at the beginning you start trying not to get your boots wet and whatnot, and then towards the end, pitch black, you just want to get home, you're just ploughing through it, mate, like ankle deep. It was one of them scenarios. And then we got right near the end and there was a river crossing, and it said, the trail said, just go straight across, lad. I was like, oh, just go straight across, not even any stepping stones or a bridge or nothing. So let's go a little bit further down to find a bridge. And then all was well. But by that point, it was like 10:30, pitch black. Like I said, we forgot our head torches. All we had was our iPhone torches. They're not great. We hadn't eaten much yesterday, so we were in desperate need for a takeaway or something. Weirdly enough, Scotland seems to just shut down after 11 p.m. So there's literally nothing, not even a McDonald's. So off we headed back here because we just knew this was a safe spot. With us starting the trip here, we knew we'd sort of already eyed up a few potential pitches. So here we are. We were initially going to go over to the island, but that was earlier on when there was still daylight. So at this point, we just, as you can see, didn't get to the island. We're right there. But either way, it was just nice to rest the head at that point. We were done. Literally, it went down to like minimal, zero chat actually between us. And we're just like on a mission. Let us just get this tent up and get in. But feeling much better for that little bit of kip I had. Because we'd actually noticed a few spots that you could have pitched a tent here when we started the trip. Because that's, if you haven't noticed, we started here, we're ending the trip here. Mate, I think the water's coming, you know. You don't realise how close your tent is to the water. Oh my god, looks like you're almost floating on it. Oh. So this loch is part of the sea, so that explains it. But we didn't really think, obviously, at this point. We were just knackered, so we've just pitched our tent, and Liam's is almost a floating tent, do you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm going to enjoy this view one last time, and then we'll get on the road. But before I do that, I just want to say, if you have watched up until now, thank you so much. I've really, really enjoyed this trip. I would say it's probably the best trip we've had. Really, really enjoyed it, and really want to get back up in Scotland again. Oh, wow, slipping. Trying to get out all majestic like Daniel Craig, and it's just not happening, lad.
You can tell your old man you'll do some largemouth fishing in another town. You just got too much on your plate to bait and cast a line. You can always put a rain check in his hand.